At about 9:30 this morning, we got a call that there was a stabbing here at Chamberlain High School. We came out. What we've discovered is we had two 15-year-old girls who were involved in some sort of a confrontation. We have one in custody. The other one was taken to the hospital with what is being described as non-life-threatening injuries. At this point, the school was briefly on a lockdown. The principal has made a phone call home to parents to let them know what happened. At this time, things are back to normal. I've been in the school, and we've had a change of classes, and everything's back to normal.
What was used in the stabbing? Was this a knife that was brought into the school, something that was already in the school? Do we know yet?
Well, we do have the weapon. I don't know where it came from, but it's being described as being a steak knife. So, I mean, you could get that anywhere. I don't know where it came from, but we do have the weapon.
Are students screened before they come into school?
Are they screened? No, students are not screened in the Hillsborough County Schools, no.
Where did the fight happen inside of the school?
I'm going to ask Tanya if she could describe where it was. I don't know the school well enough to say which hallway or anything like that, yeah.
Did you get any information, Steve, yet about why it is that they were arguing about his boyfriend?
No, we're still trying to sort that out. We need to talk to both subjects to find out what the argument was about, but it was just some sort of an argument. We have no reason to believe that any other students were involved, but two girls just had some sort of a confrontation. One stabbed the other. She's been taken to the hospital. The other one we have in custody. We'll release her name later because it sounds to me like she's probably going to be charged with a felony. I just don't have all that information yet.
What was the initial response after the girl was stabbed? Was there a school resource officer who responded right away? Were officers from the outside called in immediately? Can you just kind of go through that?
We do have a school resource officer here, so obviously he was on the case immediately. Well, the first thing you do is you call police and you call for fire rescue because we have somebody who's injured. And as I mentioned, I mean, we have a number of people here from school security and from Tampa police, and they were very quick to send the other student who was injured to the hospital.
Were there students that witnessed the fight, and if so, are officers checking with them for cell phone video, anything like that that may help?
I don't know who would have witnessed it, but that's part of the investigation because we want to hear from as many people who may have seen what happened.
What part of the body shows stabbed?
I'm sorry?
What part of the body shows stabbed? Where shows stabbed?
It was in the upper body. I'm not sure exactly where it was. As we sort that out, I'll be putting out a media alert with more but like I said, I mean, the principal was very quick to put something out to let parents know what was going on because, as you might expect, students are going to start texting and sending rumors around, that sort of thing. Principal was very upfront as quickly as she could be with parents to let them know what was happening and that things are back to normal. Do you have any questions for the representative from the Hillsborough County Schools at this time?
Steve, was this during class change?
I guess not.
Was this during class change, and were these two only two people around?
Do you know?
And they got into it
Yep.
outside of that, or were there several? I'm sorry, Tom. Or were there several other kids around that may have seen what's going on?
Yes, this was during a class passing, so there were students in the hallway, students who saw it. In fact, there were a few students who actually were able to jump in and assist, and so we thank those students for being there and being able to help out in the situation. I don't know exactly. I'm sure that's part of the investigation, but I think they were able to see it and maybe even pull the students apart.
Tanya, will the school or the district do anything differently beginning tomorrow as a result of this isolated incident?
No, this was something between these two students, and they will take action for those two students, but there will be nothing different at the school.
What grades are they in?
I don't know. I don't have the names.
And at this point, we're not sure what they were fighting about, other than it was some kind of fight.
Right.
Stabbing.
This was an isolated incident between these two students, but we don't know exactly what the argument was, what the fight was about.
Are you guys looking into any disciplinary action for these students?
That would be part of this, but I can't give any kind of discipline action against students. I can't give any kind of student records.
You got to be thankful that you had at least a couple students jump in, especially with the knife involved, that they kind of risked themselves in this to break it up.
Sure, and you don't really want students to risk their own safety, but they saw a need to help, a need to step in, and so we thank them for doing that. And the principal is very thankful for them. She's going to be talking with those students and rewarding them or honoring them in some type of way.
Tanya, this school about 10 months ago, there was that modified lockdown. A kid had a gun and some ammo in a backpack. do they have to do something possibly to try to start? I know it's very difficult. It's not the school's district's policy to start scanning the kids or looking at them some other way here.
We want to make sure our schools are safe places, but there is a fine line between that. We don't want to make our schools, fortresses. We want to make sure our students feel safe. We rely on our students as well, though. So when students hear something or they see something, whether it's about a fight or some type of weapon on campus, a lot of times that's how we hear about things. So we encourage students and staff to notify and let us know when things are going on. But we really want to make sure these buildings and our schools are safe places, but we're not going to take those drastic measures at this time.
Can you talk a little bit about maybe a feeling of thankfulness that it didn't get more out of hand than it already was?
Well, the fact that it was between two students, this was a situation between them. This was not something that was, more broad, that involved more students. The fact that there were students there that could help out, but also that our school resource officer is here and was able to jump in immediately. The modified lockdown that they were on was only about 5 minutes because they were able to get to it so quickly, get the student into custody, and get the school back to normal as quickly as they could.
Every school in the district has an officer.
All of our schools have some type of officer. Our middle and high schools have officers that are here permanently that are assigned to the school. Our elementary schools, they share officers, our school resource officers, as well as Tampa Police or Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. So everyone has some type of presence of law enforcement on campus.